Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic. You find out that the person you met has 0 friends and spends all their time alone at home. What is your first thought? Depends on the situation. I moved away from a state I grew up in and left all my friends behind. Not to mention I'm middle-aged, so friends kinda disappear because life happens. My ex-girlfriend kept fucking ribbing me during the breakup about how I don't have any friends. No, I had friends, and between COVID and the gig economy, they're gone. Glad that person is your ex. Seems like beyond below the belt. We are so similar, we should play video games together. We've so much in common. I told him with pride. I'd sit in my bedroom. I'm rarely outside. On movies and pizza my pleasure depends. I don't have ambitions or passions or friends. I guess I'm a loner. But then, so are you. Perhaps we could make the most wonderful two. Perhaps we could make the most excellent pair. With games and distractions, diversions to share. What say you? I asked him with joy and a smile. What say you? I whispered, and after a while, I frowned and I rued and regretted I'd tried. I stared at the me in the mirror and sighed. We are so similar, we should play video games separately. This is a more realistic answer. Hope they're happy. I made the mistake of thinking our /forever alone was for people that were happy being alone. I was wrong. Well, that was a sad turn on the internet. I lurked, gave some friendly advice, then backed away slowly. Holy shit, that place is weird. I clicked on a post of some dude ranting about not having a relationship or a good life. Someone gave him some perfectly reasonable advice, and the next comment was, how the fuck did me stumble on in here? Person giving good advice was downvoted. Person calling the good advice giver me is upvoted. That whole place is just a big self-pity party. It really depends. Are they a loner because they enjoy their own company, or because their behavior is atrocious? I'm a loner, and if the person seemed fine I'd not be bothered. Exactly. I spend my time at home because I prefer it. I get more than enough social interaction from work. Agree. I work in hospitality and I absolutely love it, but I'm an introvert and on my days off the absolute last thing I want to do is spend more time with people. My co-workers and regulars are my friends genuinely. The few things I do outside of work I still do with them. But I am happy spending all my free time alone. I like the people I spend most of my time at work with, but I also really like being alone. There's nothing wrong with that. My wife and child died few years ago. My best friends from high school and college have died. I don't make new friends anymore. I ride my bike and take care of my dog and keep to myself. Edit, I didn't answer the question at all. My point was just that someone who spends their time alone might not be a bad person. Maybe it's just an easier lifestyle for them. Respect their privacy. My fiancé and children died last year, had a couple friends die and the rest weren't too fond of me deciding I didn't want to follow their path when I got engaged and cut them off. The parallels you and I share are a bit eerie. I used to ride motorcycles, have been considering getting another, and my dog is sometimes a higher priority than myself. He eats well and that matters a lot to me. Aside from that I live in solitude. Shitty club to be in, isn't it? I was meaning bicycle not motorcycle, but I used to ride a 74 CB 450. Might get another CB one day. Oh man, I had this with a friend group a while back. They were talking about a guy having no friends as a reason to not be friends with him. He invited us to his birthday party. I was like, guys, I think that just perpetuates the cycle, but they didn't really get it. No longer in that friend group and I continue to form my own opinions about people. Edit, thank you so much for your upvotes, lovely comments, and the awards made my day. Short answer, I did go to the party. Long answer. I made a big deal of being excited about it, made a giant cookie decorated like a coin to bring. He collected coins, which my group thought was the weirdest thing ever, and got the others to go too. Here's the kicker, he didn't even need us at that party. We had all used to live together, 12 rooms in one flat in student halls, and at that time he really did try his best to be part of the clique that was forming, with little success. Eventually we had to move into second-year houses so we wouldn't all fit in one. I thought I was lucky to get a place in the house with the popular crowd. He had to find people from his course to live with. Once we got to the party, it was obvious he had flourished whilst away from this mean, kinda toxic group. He had a girlfriend and was really tight with his new housemates. I'm pretty sure he just wanted numbers since it was his birthday. I had a really fun time at that party, and it made me realize I'd be happier if I wasn't having to expend energy trying to fit in with these people. I was already the most other of all of them and felt like my idiosyncrasies were always being commented on. I decided not to renew my lease with them. I remember waking up to them laughing in the kitchen with the landlord. My room was a little windowless room right next to it, about how stupid I was for not signing a new lease. It's crazy how fast people can turn on you. I'm not very close to the dude right now as it's been a few years, but I think I'll drop him a message next time I'm in town. He and his girlfriend are still going strong and his Facebook is full of pictures of family and a few friends. Thank you Reddit for dredging up the memory of this learning moment of mine. Remember to be your weird selves always, and don't trust friends who only care about popularity. That's great. I've seen friends of other people be indifferent and even support their awful behavior. Thinking for yourself is a high-key friend quality to have. I really hope you went to his party. Few things hurt me more than kids that throw parties and nobody goes, and I don't even like kids. My little brother threw one at Chuck E. Cheese's when he was like 8, but he had no friends. So my sister and I just started inviting friends and friends of friends with kids, siblings. We were young too, so that there were kids at the party. It was a success. My father was not that pleased. I mean, he wanted some kids there, but we invited too many. Thinking about having backup kids. But no need for backup kids. When I started 5th grade, my best friend from 4th grade had come back from summer break, having decided we were not only no longer friends, but that she was going to start a campaign against me. She was popular, so by Christmas break most of the class referred to me only by dog or would avoid me completely. My birthday is in early June and my parents wanted to throw me a nice party for my big 10th b-day. We didn't have a lot of money growing up and my parents did what they could to throw me a party at the local mini golf spot. I invited the entire class. One girl showed up. Fuck you, Jennifer. I'm also a person that has 0 friends and spends all my time alone at home. So my first thought would be, so I'm not the only creepy loner out there. Same. I slowly drifted from my college friends over the years, then made no effort to keep in touch during my last relationship. When that ended last year, it really hit home that I no longer have any friends. I've also come to realize it's very difficult to make friends as an adult, especially if you're not the extrovert type, which I'm not. Never too late to reach out again. I use a script I get from 6 Minute Networking, great free online course for keeping in touch. Hi Roy, Level Uvukfla 3 here. Haven't spoken to you in ages. I hope this finds you well. What's the latest with you? No rush on the reply if you're busy. I'd love to hear what you are up to when you get a chance. It's been amazing and I've reconnected with so many old friends just by scrolling through old WhatsApp messages from years ago and sending this script to 3 people a day. There was one guy who came to my shared apartment for students who was from Finland. He was really socially awkward because of his anxiety and barely looked at you in the eyes when you spoke to him. So that is why I took him with me to meet my friends and we started doing Cooking Fridays where we all chose a meal to prepare and really do it from scratch. Also great recommendation for a first date for the 2 of you. That way we started integrating him into our friends circle and then ours started playing on the guitar and he even began singing after some time. At the beginning we had to be careful with our wording, but as he became more acquainted to us, he became cheekier and so did we. It was a great experience for all of us and we learned a lot about people with anxiety and were able to make another person happy. He then had to go back to Finland and we left happily with a hug. You're a good person. Without a doubt. He handled that dude's anxiety and awkwardness like a pro. It probably meant the world to him, being integrated and included and just being allowed to be himself without being forcibly pulled out of his shell. I hope to be a part of doing something like that in the future. One of us. One of us. One of us. No one has 0 friends when I'm around. I like that. I'm that person. Give them a chance. Some of us have experienced depression or abuse and are this way for a reason. Some of us are trying to have friendships but have spent so much time working and trying to survive that we put social life to the side. Some of us just like being alone. Some of us are looking for someone to help get us out and experience more. We are not bad or broken, we just have become accustomed to solitude and don't know how to live any other way. We don't want your pity, but could use some compassion. Edit. Well, this blew up. Thank you for the awards. I'm glad to know I'm not the only loner out there. To those that are struggling, you are strong. It takes a strong person to be comfortable with themselves, to take a trip alone, go to a movie or a restaurant by yourself. Most normal people would crack, but not us. Those that long for company, be patient and be strong. You've got to take a step out too. You can't expect others to come to you. You can do it. Hope you all find peace and happiness in this tough world, however you choose to live. When I got out of my parents' house, I literally did not know how to have friends. My family relationships were relentless, mocking at best, and then make my therapist cry at worst. I couldn't make myself open up even a little because I had the instinct to protect myself so strong. Like, I couldn't admit to liking certain things, I couldn't talk about even small talk subjects. At my first real job after moving out, I had a co-worker who just relentlessly worked at being my friend. It took him like a year of just constantly dealing with the way I shut down and shut people out. He found things to talk about with me and just kept inviting me to hang out. Eventually we did, and it just kept getting better. It started with small things, like it turns out we both like it to be cold. Maybe another few months in, I revealed I liked rock music, and a year after that I shared my favorite albums. In the meantime, I would watch him play video games and talk to him about whatever else we could talk about. He never made fun of me or made me feel sad or pathetic. There were a few times I went full psycho and tried to ghost him because I was scared of getting close with someone like that and picked some small thing to get pissed at him about, and every time he'd recognize what I was doing and do whatever was necessary to still be friends. One time he even showed up at my job with all my favorite foods for me at lunch because I didn't like a joke he made the night before and decided to tell him never to talk to me again. I know it sounds like toxic, but no one has ever cared that much about me. He remembered things I liked and made me a fucking care package of them even though I was acting crazy and blowing up at him. He just never picked up and left like I was always waiting for him to. I apologized and then he never held it against me. We're still best friends and I have used that experience to be able to make other friends. I feel like I'm in a movie sometimes when we're happy and all just hanging out. I used to genuinely think moments like that were made up for, like scenes in movies. I think all the time and tell him constantly how grateful I am that he just did all that, when he didn't have to. Sounds like a wonderful person met a lost one. Glad you have enough each. Friendships rules.